What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. We finally have Thor bust in the house. Super excited to get this. And man alive, is that a lot of fragile stickers, yet it's still got, damn sure you can see it's double boxed, but hopefully no issues. Also, this big gash there. It is a very heavy box. Very heavy, very big, so I'm not bringing this downstairs. It's too much work. Better just to open it here, carry it piece by piece downstairs. But I did get this from our good friends Resin GK. Link in the description below to his website to check out all their products. You can reach out to him on Facebook. But let's open this up. Super excited. Alrighty, folks. So we finally got it out. I did have to tip it upside down. There's just no way to get it out otherwise. Here is the COA. And also has, the COA holder. So I got number 55 of 366. And as of right now, this is the last Marvel bust that's even on pre-order, I think. I don't think they've done another Marvel bust. There's also this, which talks about maintenance and assembly guide. Very heavy box, I will say. It does have Queen Studios logo here, Queen Studios tape, Queen Studios straps. Alrighty, let's see what we got. I don't know if I can carry it one by one hand. Alrighty, and Thor. Check that out. Looks pretty good. Alrighty, so as you can see, there's quite a few different contraptions. Obviously, the base is underneath. But let's go ahead and remove the second layer. We're going to have to take the base downstairs, set that up, and then obviously him. Alrighty, and this is everything that's on the second layer. So you got the cape, the base, the innards of the base, the brush, and I believe something that just goes over his shoulders, part of his like cape costume. That is definitely heavy, but I'm assuming the heaviest thing is the base. Alrighty, and so here is what was inside that little bag. Got maintenance and then an actual assembly guide. This is the first time I think the first time they've done this. I can't remember. After sales, yada yada. This is nice. I wish all high-end busts would include something like this. Basically take out the base, place it, main body, accessories, attach the base, that part, the cape, and then the thing that goes over the cape. Yeah, and it has instructions both English and Chinese, I believe. Very nice that they included this. Glad Queen Studios is finally doing that. Anything that you're spending $4 grand on should, include stuff like this. Alrighty, folks, so I wanted to show this to you. I don't know if I want to set the bust up right here because it's so heavy. It's hard to carry super heavy stuff over. Anyways, I wanted to show you everything that I got out so far. I got everything but the Thor bust downstairs. So here is the base without anything in it. It is very heavy. Looks awesome, though. And then here is the part of like Thor holding the things together to form Stormbreaker, which is really cool. It does include a light up. It's via batteries, and then it has a remote. Then you have all these contraptions. This is just for the COA sign, so don't look at that. This thing actually moves, which is interesting. And then this as well, and then that is like polystone. Nice cape, feels really good. They included the brush, as well as gloves and this makeup powder, which actually even has their logo. This is more or less to help if it's like sweating. Now, Queen hasn't used that sweating type of material in quite some time on their busts, but it's still good to have that. It also has a mirror. I'm not going to leave that in the box because I feel like it'd go bad in my garage. But yeah, so here's basically everything. I'm probably just going to move and set this up over in right next to Loki, because there's not going to be much to see at the back of him. It's simply going to be his cape, so yeah, we'll go ahead and just set it up right next to Loki. All right, I said screw it. I'm just going to do it right here. There are a few parts you have to get on the back, you know, once you put him on. So I'm just going to do it here. So, yeah. This is like a soft material. See, almost like Velcro right there. We'll remove that last. Alright, so I wanted to show this to you before we put it in. So there's just like a little black figure of Thor holding the two things, gold and bronze and silver, and it's two AAA batteries. That's kind of the concept, just really just a light behind him. It's pretty cool. I like the concept. You know, I love Thor in Ragnarok and Infinity War. And we actually did just go ahead and remove this thing. But I like the concept. It's cool. Infinity War, for me, is the best movie ever made. It's the version where Thor's the most badass, even if he missed the head. But still, very cool little, like, Easter egg. And there it is on the base. So you do want to keep that on and then use the remote to basically turn it on and off, which is really nice. I feel like Queen needs to do this for all their statues. They really should do it for their Iron Man statues. It's ridiculous that, you know, all of them had that. All right, I believe this goes here, but I'm gonna look at the instructions first. You know, yeah, looks like it goes just like this. So like that, and then the back part, you have this thing, which I want to do two-handed, and then these on each side. So let's do that. All right, so this is how this goes. You have to angle this to basically clamp onto that, and then that magnetizes there. So that's pretty cool. Another part basically attaches here and like kind of folds into this. Which this, if you remember, is what actually made Stormbreaker. You know, this is like the mold, is how Tyrion, that's what I always call him, Tyrion. Yeah, that's the mold. And they broke that open and Stormbreaker came out. So overall, I do like this quite a bit. And I believe this was like the machinery that clamped it together. There's also some sort of like gold thing here. Not 100% sure what that is. I believe it's on the other side, yeah. But overall, I like this base. I think it's cool. It really pays homage to him developing Stormbreaker, which I'm going to have right behind him. You know, so I think that's really cool. So, yeah, and there he is. I'm going to fix that hair a little bit, but they also included this neck thing, which we'll have to, you know, remove. All right, next is the cape, and then that, and you're done. Alrighty, so the cape does have the Velcro here and a magnet right here to go ahead and, you know, get it in place. There was a bunch of tiny little hairs that were on the neck, you know, like back here, probably just fall out or whatever. And I like to use these brushes to get the little hair off. I don't really like touching the silicone with my hand, you know, so if you ever see a little hair, I recommend these brushes. They actually work really good to get the little hairs. I had to do a ton on that Arnold. He had so many little hairs on him. This works great. This one doesn't get them off. This is just a general like dusting brush, get rid of crap. But there's the cape. Like I said, it blocks everything in the back, so which is kind of unfortunate because like I said, the back of the base is actually really cool. But you're not going to see any of that now that he has his cape. But it's still a cool concept, even if you don't get to see it. So, only one piece remains, whatever the heck that would be called. And there you have it, the completed Thor bust. Now, obviously, he doesn't look good down, though. I can tell you now, I can't see his eyes or anything. We're going to want to get him raised, but where I'm going to put him, I'm going to be able to see him perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and get him now next to Loki so we can properly see him, get that COA mounted right behind him, and review this bad boy. Alrighty folks, so we do have Thor all set up here in the display. Let's go ahead and back it up so you can get a whole view of this display. This is something I have been working on literally forever, and we finally have the Holy Trinity. So Thor is a tiny bit smaller than Doctor Strange. Could be really just due to the hair. Although Doctor Strange's body seems to be a tad longer. But Thor's definitely has like a buffer chest. He's a little bit, the width's about the same. But yeah, he looks fantastic next to Loki, obviously. And then Stormbreaker right behind him, which also looks really good. The only other thing I could consider if I wanted to wall mount Mjolnir right there, I have considered it. You know, I obviously have Mjolnir right there. I've kind of displayed it here in the bathroom, but of course I can wall mount it if I want to. And technically wall mount Captain's helmet right there. I have also put them down there, but they get blocked too much. It's going to turn on the light up. So, you know, like that's the light up from a distance. It is quite bright, maybe because I just put fresh batteries. It's almost like blinding me a little bit. But it's cool. It's a cool little feature. I probably won't use it that often. But it's nice to give you a remote. You know, even like my Thanos batteries, they die after a month or two. So I don't even have batteries in it right now. It just dies too quickly. That's the one thing I hate about batteries. They just die if they're dormant. But overall, I like the base quite a bit. I'd probably put the base equivalent to Doctor Strange in terms of coolness factor. You know, I love Doctor Strange's base, you know, the whole sanctum look. This is similar. This does have quite a bit more with all those contraptions in the back, but I'd say it's definitely equally as good as the Doctor Strange base and Loki base. It's as good as those three. Better than Captain's base. He has the weakest base of them all, but the best upper body. You know, Thor's torso area. So you have this really like hard polystone. Has lots of scratches. And then I don't know what these are called, but you know, they look cool. They have like silver cracks in it. You know, and if you look over here, you know, similar costume, of course, in Endgame. Same exact concept right there. In the previous movies, they were different. You know, and I like that armor look as well quite a bit. But his, you know, Infinity War costume looks awesome. You know, so all this looks good. This is like a soft material. It's almost like cushion, honestly. Like I said, the cape looks good. It has a nice inner design, so it's not, you know, like Loki's, which is just plain. It does have that inner design, you know, so really nice cape. You know, Doctor Strange capes is definitely the best cape I've ever had. That cape is insanely good. But I do like his cape. It feels like a nice material. So I do like the cape. This thing is actually quite heavy. And as you can see, it does have almost like battle damage on it right here, some scuff marks. You know, so it's definitely a more battle damaged costume, which is great because it adds more detail. You know, this is like him in the midst of, you know, the battle in Wakanda. You know, bring me Thanos, pops in. So let's check out the hair. So his hair is quite unique. It has all these like different designs. Of course, this is the hair from when he got it cut at, you know, Sakaar. So it has these like parts that come forward, go down to the side. And then honestly, it's kind of like my hairstyle. You know, he has the whole, the frick is this called? I forget this hairstyle name, but I do this with my hair. You know, although I don't do like that, but he did have this hairstyle in the movie. The hair is a mix of really browns and a little bit of hint of orange. But definitely like the core hair is brown. There's a little bit lighter color here and there, like at the tips. His beard hair, that looks brown with a hint of orange. It looks like a real beard hair. Like, that looks really good. Now, that looks like a real beard for sure. So, great hand-punched hair. The lips look good. His mouth is a tad open, and you can see some teeth, actually. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I can see 2 bottom teeth and 2 upper teeth. There is no nose hair, and I just realized there is freaking hair on his nose. Jupiter's freaking... Gotta get this brush again. I don't like these little hairs. I gotta get those off. Yeah, so you can see. Get that freaking little hair off. There we go. Excellent skin pores and texture. There's a scar right there. right there. You can see some veins on the side of his temples. Eyelashes, eyebrows all look great. The eyes, so the right one is brown, and the left one is like blue-green. You definitely see, you know, Thor has like wrinkles, a little bit of crow's feet, tiny bit of rosy red cheeks, just a tiny bit. See the forehead lines. Yeah, it looks excellent. It even has like almost a slightly greasy look right here, which makes sense because, like I said, this is like him in the middle of the battle. He's, you know, almost sweating. So he actually does kind of have a slightly more sweaty look, which I actually like because, like I said, I feel like this is the middle of the Wakanda battle. Bring me Thanos. So he is fighting Thanos. He is sweating. Now, if you don't want that look, you can use the powder, but I actually like it on him, so I'm going to keep it. Now, in terms of likeness, so the prototype looked extremely good, but I kind of felt like it was Photoshopped, to be brutally honest. It didn't look real to me. But this definitely looks extremely good. Let me sit in my chair. You know, like this is going to be my angle when sitting in the chair, which is definitely a good angle. It's a good-sized bust, you know. You can get official dimensions on like Queen's website or, you know, any reseller selling it. But it fits perfectly here on a 48-inch wide garage shelf with Loki. So as you can see, you know, they are brothers. They obviously pair extremely well together. You know, their height of the body is about the same. Loki's obviously just taller due to his horns. I think the likeness is a solid 94%, I would say. It's as good likeness as Loki. Like, I would probably put Loki in a similar manner. Like, you know, you could just say between 90 to 95% is the likeness. I think Doctor Strange and Captain are like 99%. You know, those are exceptionally well, you know, but these are definitely extremely good. And I think for any silicone, you got to be at least 90% for, you know, it to be acceptable at a $4,000 price range. You know, but the skin pores, the scars, the hand punched hair, it all looks extremely good. His pose or, you know, face expression, it's almost like he's, you know, his mouth is obviously open. It's almost like when he just hit Thanos with the Stormbreaker and Thanos is like, you should have gone for the head, and then he snapped and he's like, oh. You know, it's almost like that, you know, it's kind of, you know, unique. You know, where Loki's just like that straight face, determined look. Doctor Strange just, you know, determined, straight, Captain's forward, ready to battle. Thor is, he's determined because his eyes are like almost like slightly squinted where he's getting the middle eyebrow, you know, wrinkle, and his mouth is slightly open. So he's like angry, confused. He has a lot of emotions running on him. Clearly, because he just lost his home planet, half his people just died by Thanos, his brother just died. So he definitely has a good expression based off, you know, his character in the movie. So yeah, overall, it's a fan-frickin-tastic bust. I really like this. It fits the wall perfectly. So if you're collecting these Marvel busts, it's a must-have in my opinion. Overall, I'd probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. You know, for a silicone $4,000 bust. Now, I didn't pay $4,000 myself. But, you know, that's the general price, you know, if you go around to retailers. But huge shout out to Resin GK for this. He just needs to ship my Bell bust, Khaleesi bust, you know, so we can get them enhanced, because Bell bust would be next from him. He's supposed to be shipping this week. So very excited to get Bell. I think Bell will top Thor simply because it has the arms, more going on. I think it's going to be better than Thor. And I think Khaleesi will be my favorite of the three. But Thor, absolutely fantastic. Stoked to have him. I'm going to go watch Infinity War now to celebrate. I've actually watched the entire MCU in cinematic order in preparation to get this. So I'm going to go watch the movie and, you know, show the wife this. She hasn't seen it yet, but she loves Chris Hemsworth. She's a big fan of, you know, Thor in the movies. So let's go watch the movie, and then I'll show her the bust. But overall, freaking love it. Thanks, Queen. Now, Queen, if you're taking my opinion on the matter and what bust to do next, please give us a Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner bust. Silicone, I will buy it. Because then I can pair it with Black Widow right there and move Spidey over there. Then I can have an entire OG Avengers team. Because we're only missing Hawkeye. And also make him in 1/4. You're asking which movie? Do Avengers 1, 2, or Endgame? You know, any of those movies would work for me. You know, Endgame at the very end, or, you know, Avengers 1 and 2 also looks great. Anyways, folks, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think of Thor bust overall. In person, these things always look better because, you know, it's really hard to tell how good, like, the skin texture and the micro detail is, if you know what I mean. You know, because, like, when I got Kong bust, there's definitely missing that micro detail, like, you know, when you look at the eyebrows, like, how realistic do they look? When you look at those eyelashes, you know, having all those individual little strands, you look at the skin pores, you know, like, that looks like a real freaking human. You know, it looks incredible. So, extremely well done job by Queen. Overall, I'm happy with the hairstyling and look. It looks great, so I got no complaints. And it looks great next to Thanos, you know. The whole idea was to have him surrounded by the Trinity. So I think overall it looks really good. This wall is the best wall in my entire collection. Without a doubt. I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 silicone busts with Thanos bust. Are you freaking kidding me? Ultimate MCU wall ever. Anyways, folks, that is it. Be sure to join my Facebook group if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.